She's an unsung novel, turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on a line, or a phone call with or without wine.
You're gonna do her.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the straight red card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card, sponsored by Twin Mono, who put out my album. So a little self, I guess, promotion there. Thank you, Brett. Well done on that little clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to help my co-host out here.
I needed something small and simple that I could throw in the shows.
Yeah, so we didn't have to play a whole fucking song all the time.
You're wrong. I know people like listening to it and all, but we can't play a 4-minute song every show.
Not every
I definitely can't throw it in the little clips and all, but
yeah, new single probably after the new year. New song, new single that we can play here. A new video too. So
very cool.
But until then, that's gonna work just fine. The turd in the background says, "Welcome back to a very special edition of the Straight Red Card." Yes, it's in honor of you, Turd. Welcome back to a very special edition of the Straight Red Card. Tonight is the Turdie Awards. Hopefully this award show goes better than the Oscars did. I'm excited and my pants show it. Bricked up. Is that what they call that? Bricked up? That's kind of, I haven't heard that one before. Bricked up. Mine doesn't ever get bricked up anymore. So, it's kind of more like a limestone than it is a brick.
I don't know, the picture of Bobby, going, wah, and everything. That's actually him having heard that we're doing the Turdies. You can see he's excited too.
Yeah, Jose did. I remember that slide from last show. Indeed. So what are the Turdies? Well, the Turdies are awards that we're going to give out, and there are good, so sometimes you have a good turd and sometimes you have a bad turd. If you go to the bathroom, it's not always a good situation, right? Sometimes it's not pretty in there. And then sometimes you pinch one off, you wipe 2 times and you're on your way and you're like, hell yeah, now that's a good turd. So this is what this is too. There are good turdies. There are bad turdies. You don't want to have those 50 wiper ones. Those are the worst. It's like, you're like, how can this possibly be that messy? And I'm not talking about Lionel Messi. It just fell out of my ass. How is my ass so distressed with poop? So yes, good turdies, bad turdies. So we're going to have positive, we're going to have negative. And it's basically not just about U.S. men's national team. It's going to be a U.S. soccer themed awards. And this will be the first time we're going to do them. So we're excited. It's kind of our way of doing a year-end review without making it all formal and like, our year-end review is that Matt Miazga gets a C- because he didn't get to play anymore after. Does Salt Bay win an honorary Turdy? We were just having this discussion before the show, and I'm like, Brett, I don't do social media. I have no fucking clue who the Salt Bay motherfucker is. Like, I have no idea. Absolutely zero. And then people have been twittering or tweeting at me about Salt Bay, and so I still don't know who the fuck he is. Oh my God, what is this? That's him? Oh, he's the guy that does the
salt thing, yes.
Oh, he's that famous now for just doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like he cooks a mean piece of meat too, but
and he knows Infantino, I guess. Infantino looks uncomfortable. There we go. He's got a bigger dick than me, but he does not have bigger balls. I have the biggest balls of them all. Ask AC/DC. All right. So I noticed it on our other show that Tiffany and company are running their ads on our shows when they start. I can't think of a company that is less likely to get any any juice out of running an ad before our show to Tiffany and Company. I
Hey,
honestly,
you know what? There's a lot of people listening that have significant others. In fact, Berlin is actually going to be missing the show because he's going to be siring one tonight.
with the Polish girls?
Maybe. He didn't specify a name.
I thought we got over that. I thought he
By
decided.
the way, Chris, thanks for the 2.
Yeah, thank you. Indeed. Now I know who Salt Bay is, and I guess he was on the field taking pictures and shit with the players. I did not know any of that.
Salt Bay, got an LOL. You're better off.
Thank you, Brian.
Hate the idiot. Is it TikTok making selling 200 steaks?
$200 steaks? They better be good. More like cocksucker. I didn't know that those were synonyms. Salt Bay, cocksucker, synonym. All right. I like that, people are making those kind of connections in a, an English literature sort of way. More like a cocksucker.
What's what am I spacing the Italian American dude that chose Italy over us? What am I spacing his name right now?
Yeah. Rossi?
Yes. Apparently he apparently went all New Jerseyan and that Salt Bay guy needs to fuck off. Type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Rossi. Oh, by the way, before we get to this actual show, one thing I heard today.
We got plenty of time before.
I know. But this really irritates me. It really does. And it's something that needs to stop now, right away.
I already apologize for that. Sorry.
Who is Johnny Depp's ex-wife?
Amber Turd.
Amber Turd. Thank you. So Amber Turd comes out with whatever comment she did today. But within those comments, she said, and this is my truth.
Yeah.
Listen, motherfucker, you don't get to have your own truth. You can have your own perspective. You can have your own opinion. You can have your own idea of what the experience was. But the only thing is the truth is what actually fucking happened. You don't get to have a truth. Truth is not something we mix up, and throw on a campfire like we're Boy Scouts roasting marshmallows. That's not how this fucking goes. Yeah. Truth is not something that you get to own. Truth is outside of what you are experiencing. Now, you can have an opinion on that experience. Maybe you thought, you were in the right the whole time. But the truth is that's not something that's subjective, okay? That's not a personal thing. I don't know when we got so willy-nilly with the fucking truth, but we are apparently in this willy-nilly culture where the truth is just something, hey, my cock's fucking 12 inches long. Well, no, objectively, it is not 12 inches long. I can measure it. That's the truth. What I'm measuring is the truth, not my truth. Okay, well, I can look down and I guess and go, looks 12 to me. That's my truth. In my truth, 6 is 12. I take everything and I double it. That's not how this works, folks. So if I have to hear that again, I'm gonna vomit.
Don't worry, Derek. I've heard from quality sources that 6 is the new 12 anyways, so you're good.
I hope so. All right. For you F1 fans out there, which Brett is not because he's not sophisticated, Andretti Autosport is about this close from having an F1 team in 2024. I know because I work just down the road from Andretti Autosports, and sometimes I stop by and say hello. Anyhow, that may or may not be true.
But who the fuck are you, man?
What they're hoping. Well, we actually, when I was with March of Dimes, we did a fundraiser with the Andretti family back when, what's his face? He died of cancer. Shit. He was the host. So I did get to meet the Andrettis, and they're great people. They're just fabulous fucking people. Period. End of story. Mario, depending on it. Jose Lopez. Mario. Sergio Perez is the GOAT. Derek. Viva Mexico. Sergio Perez, really? Woohoo! Mario Andretti, legend.
You got a couple F1 fans.
Yep. Oh, I would imagine. If you're watching soccer, you're probably an F1 fan, or a good percentage of them are. It would be fabulous to have an actual real American team. I know Haas is supposedly an American team, but they don't actually have any American drivers and never have and never will. So fuck them. All right. Lefty Quixote. F1, is that like A1 sauce, but not good? No, A1 sauce is not good.
Like, Lefty, I know you're siding with me on this.
Yeah,
but I'm going to side with Derek on that.
Whoever invented that in the 50s needs to shut the fuck up. That is some bad.
I mean,
what a way to ruin a steak.
You had to back in the day, because I mean, all the meat you're eating, you have to overcook it, otherwise you're going to get sick. So you have to start throwing something on there to add some flavor back to it.
Are you telling me
now that meat's not like that, and you don't get sick, you don't get worms from eating meat?
Come on, people have been cooking great steaks since at least the caveman days. They figured out they didn't need to cook it until it was shriveled up like a prune. They know you can leave a little red in the middle, so But I can guarantee you this one. I have a really great tasty steak. I'm not putting fucking A1 on it. Gross. Yuck. Disgusting. All right, anyhow. Yeah. By the way, what'd you eat tonight? Speaking of food.
I had a sausage.
It's gonna be sad, isn't it?
No, I cooked up some sausage with onions and green beans and threw it over rice.
All right, that works.
Delicious.
Rice is always good.
It was a little strange though. This is kind of a smoked sausage, and
Polish.
It had a different flavor to it.
Was it Polish smoked sausage?
Probably, I imagine.
I had what I think is one of the best frozen foods you can have right now. I had the White Castle spicy chicken rings. Those are really good. I'm getting addicted to them because you just pop them in the oven for 11 minutes. You pull them out, you get a little ranch. In my case today, blue cheese dressing, dip them. Man, they're fucking fantastic. I'm glad I accidentally just on a whim said, I'll give them a try. And they were great because a lot of the frozen shit I've ever buy sucks ass. This was good stuff. Good stuff. And I don't know about their burgers, their frozen burgers. I'm sure they're fine. But the White Castle spicy chicken, I feel like somehow I got Vaseline on me. Somehow it's really sticky. No, Vaseline's not sticky. What is this shit? Anyhow, I ate a candy bar before the show, so maybe that's it. Looks like I got no Snickers on my face.
Like off all the walls, man. It's like, I was eating these spicy rings, and then all of a sudden my hands are sticky. It's Vaseline. It's Vaseline. No, I ate a candy bar before the show.
No, honestly, totally innocent.
What is happening here?
Totally innocent. All I did was eat a Snickers. Do you know what we used to do at Union Station during high school? My senior year in high school, we'd go to Union Station, right? And they have the bathroom on the bottom floor, and Dan and I would take turns. This is fun shit, and we would sit in our stall and wait for somebody to come in next to us.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were going to say you stuck your dick through the glory hole.
Okay. No. And so someone would settle in next to us. They'd sit down. They're ready to, release a log. And we would have these Snickers bars, and we would smear them all over our hands. And then we'd reach underneath the stall and say, "Hey, you got any toilet paper? I'm all out over here." We were just idiots. I don't know what we were thinking. But a lot of people said, "Fuck, get your fucking hand out of there. I'll fucking kick your ass." So, it got a little unstable. So we decided to stop doing that. Someone was going to beat our ass.
Then you stuck your dick in the hole, right?
No. But Dan Hess was a large mammal. He was probably 6'4". So no one was going to really kick my ass unless Dan let him. He's like, "Hey, man.
I could use a good ass kicking."
You could use a good ass kicking. All right.
Let's go back with the A1 as a lubricant.
No, burns, has vinegar, salt, burns. Never used it, but I can just tell you it probably burns. So don't use it. And besides, no one will want to. I mean, I guess if you're whacking off, you don't have a chick there anyhow, but no chick's going to want to suck an A1 cock. Ugh, gross.
Adds a little flavor to that little piece of meat.
You'd be better off trying whatever, something sweeter flavored. All right,
Derek,
what?
You missed this on Twitter.
I did.
But we have somebody who actually doesn't follow us on Twitter, oddly enough. Had made some artistic replicas of us.
Oh yeah,
he drew us. Pretty nice.
Really?
I don't know where he got the picture of me lying down naked on the couch, but
what? Okay, wait a minute. What's going on here? What the fuck is this? Oh, Jesus Christ. My nose is not that fucking big, dude. Nor are my ears. I have small ears.
look at the top of your head.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
You've got no hair, and you've got a condom on top of it.
Who did this? This is fantastic.
And I know that's why I said I'm going to post it. It's Ninja on Twitter.
Thank you, Ninja.
I gave him a follow for that too. This was awesome.
This is so well done. All right, thank you so much. It's close. It's close.
He's got the color of your mustache with the beard.
Got the beard
properly.
right, completely. Yeah. But I'm not bald at all. I promise. I'm not bald. All right. I just don't want to have to do my hair for this show. And nor does Brett.
Pete one. You want to see the Pete one, huh?
Let's see it. God, I'm coughing like crazy. Wait. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The nose is a little too big again. It's just I know you exaggerate certain features.
It's cartoon.
Yeah.
Exaggerate these features.
I'd still make it smaller, just for more realism, because he's got everything else going on there, right? Except Pete doesn't ever have a beard. He's always cleanly shaven.
Maybe there's been, I don't know, has there ever been a time where he's not?
I don't remember him ever having a beard or a goatee. So, but look, there's Pete's wonderful U.S. men's national team shirt back there. We're busting your balls, Pete. I mean, you're not a designer, shirt designer, but that one needs some help. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. You got to be able to be made fun of and laugh at yourself. That's important in this life.
Nope, there he is.
What?
I was like, all of a sudden, Ninja is following us. I'm like, is he in the chat? He is in the chat.
Who? Ninja. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tried tack. I would never want my name on it. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, if you're exaggerating things on people's bodies, like my nose, which really isn't that big, and Pete's nose is nowhere near that big, but yeah, I guess you got to exaggerate something.
Oh, no.
And what would you exaggerate on tact? He's got some luscious lips. He does have some luscious, big old luscious Brazilian lips. I don't know. I say luscious. I'm trying to be nice. All right. They're not unluscious. I'm just, trying to find the right words. That's okay. Everybody's got to be okay with being made fun of because it's fine. That's the funny shit. All right.
Derek, our good friend, Tight Shirt Taylor Twellman, decided to try to hit the hard-hitting questions, things that really need to be addressed in life.
Okay.
And you have to start, bench, or cut these three, okay? So you have to choose one or the other, okay?
Start, bench, or cut.
Start, bench, or cut. Curly fries, plain, or waffles? Start, bench, and cut.
Wow. I think I'm going to start the curly fries. The straight up boring fries, I'm just going to cut them. So I'm going to bench the waffle fries.
You and me, we're like that.
Hell yes.
We got the same thing. But he cuts the curly. He starts the waffle, cuts the curly, and benches the regular.
The regular really depends on who's making them.
It does, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It's all in the seasoning too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the curly fries, you just can't go wrong. Those are great. They're so isolated to just Arby's that it's like its own little sector.
I mean, it's all about the seasoning, no matter what you do, because in the end, it's all just potatoes. You know, yeah. You know, the other things bring a texture thing to the game that normal fries don't, but they still have to be seasoned properly. So there you go.
No, Brian says cut the straight fries.
Yep.
P. Morton says cut waffle.
All right. Well, this is how this night's going to be all night because we have
for the win.
Here's the thing, guys. Tonight, you're going to play a role in some of these awards. And so Brett will be watching the chat. I was thinking of watching it, but now I'm not so sure.
Anthem says you start the regular. They're trusty.
Yeah. I mean, in a pinch, they're easy.
And
easier to make. Tater tots are great, too.
Tater tots are great, yeah. Especially when you start loading. There's a place in downtown Noblesville that the entire menu was. I don't think they're still around, but I think they got hit by the beer bug. But their entire menu was different loaded tater tots, and then they had all these ridiculously large number of craft beers. Really great place.
You know, I still can't get over that Amber Turd thing where she got upset when Keith Richards came over to play guitar with Johnny. She's on that recording where she's like, all he does is bring all these old fuckers, these worn out old people. Well,
no, she's a rancid bitch.
And like, dude, that's fucking
anybody who watched the Depp Heard trial, it's just like it's amazing because obviously he lost the one suit in the UK, but nothing was advertised about it. Nothing was talked about it. Then he comes here and it's all on YouTube and everything, and people can watch it. And she ends up losing big, and you can see why all the evidence was bullshit.
Right, and now she has her own truth. That's interesting. I wonder if she lives in her own fucking world. And it's like a Disney thing. All right, so let's get to the awards. Or no, we got more. Shots fired by Tab Ramos. Oh yeah, Tab. Let him have it.
Yeah, she's really like this.
Tab Ramos, when asked about the coaching search for U.S. men's national team, said he wants to hear more from U.S. Soccer Federation. Don't we all? As they've totally shut up shop. Well, look, I could have a lot of opinions about this, but the bottom line is, have you heard Cindy Parlow-Cone say anything about this? She's the president of the federation. I'm not sure I've heard her speak about the men's national team. I don't think she has said anything. I don't think I've ever even heard her name while I was at the World Cup in Qatar. Where is Ernie Stewart? Shouldn't he be saying something? Now, Ernie's just waxing his own dolphin like usual. Shouldn't he be answering some of these questions? No, because Ernie does his own thing. He's an arrogant prick. What direction are we going? I don't hear anything coming from the federation. That was kind of the same thing that happened when Berhalter got hired. No one hears anything, and then something happens. I want to hear the president of the federation say something, and you don't hear it unless it's about a lawsuit. You don't really hear anything. Man, is he not happy with USSF or what, Tab Ramos?
He's fucking hit the hammer or the nail on the head there too.
Yeah, he is. It's really nice when old school guys like that come out and just say, this is bullshit.
Well, how often? I mean, we don't bag necessarily on the higher ups in that sense because we don't hear anything from them really. But the social media side of things, just the marketing, all that shit. Yeah, you don't hear anything from anybody on anything, and it's just like this is a moment that you missed. Mm-hmm. You know, talk to the people. You're not just getting paid to sit in your luxurious Chicago offices and endure the harsh winters. Suck it up, get up there, and start talking to us.
They're busy right now. Damage control shutting up. I mean, they're shutting down.
That's not busy. It's pretty simple to just stay off the twits.
Yep, they've just shut up shop basically since the Reina incident. So,
yep. So as a whole, I mean, maybe this is just the way that it's run, and it's business as usual, I guess.
That's a clown show.
But man, it's just if you don't want a divided fan base of people who ask questions and then people who just eat it up, then start making things a little more transparent. Start opening up. Now, we may still have people bitching about stuff, but at least we know what we're bitching about. We're not just throwing things at a wall and rumors and everything.
I mean, why would you do that when you've got guys like DeCourcy out there totally rubbing your ball sack at every turn? and basically doing your bidding, and citing and writing about the USS side of the story. I mean, you don't need to, because
the USSF has their own personal fluffer. It's nice.
well, they got more than one.
They do have more than one.
Yeah. So, and we won't go into all of them, but of course, he's just certainly stood out this season. So, all right. Any more before we get to the actual show? Joe Scally in the World Cup. Of course, you would want to play when you get selected for a World Cup. When you've played almost every minute in the Bundesliga, you think you're going to play.
He's not happy. It's not happy.
Well done, Joe. I like
this. And U.S. men's national team REV posts this. It says, Greg really called Joe Scally up while running across first system and decided to give him 0 minutes when he's pinging balls like this in the Bundesliga. Just baffling. You can go to his Twitter and watch the video. I mean, it's a bunch of videos of him like lacing the ball perfectly.
Playing out right. And since Des needed a lot of rest, in this tournament, it would have been nice to see Scally once instead of Mr. Moore, who was actually a lot less.
Yeah.
So
it was
that's not just a play on words. It's literally he was a lot less than was required. So
less is more. Yeah.
All right, next.
We have De La Torre scoring
in the Copa del Rey, so maybe he will get to play. I don't know. We'll see.
It was against the 4th division La Liga team. So
then they're just resting guys. Yeah. So yeah,
but still, it's nice to see him playing. It's nice to see him scoring.
Yeah, it is, but it doesn't portend to yet a turnaround to his fortunes there at Celta Vigo. We need to see that happen. We need to see him play 15 minutes a game on the regular and not ride pine. And he was warned. I mean, I think we said it on this show when he moved there. This could be a step too much for right now. He might have been better off finding another team in Belgium or Holland where he knew he was going to get playing time. Like Celta Vigo is an iffy prop, and he doesn't speak Spanish. That's not going to help him. So not that it necessarily would have to hurt him, but it's not going to help him to not understand the Spanish coaches telling him what to fucking do. Jose Lopez, from what I see from Spanish fans, they want to see him play, but the coach has his favorites. Every coach does. Yep. I mean, not every coach. That's not true. A lot of coaches will have favorites, but they'll be open to the idea. Like every time Dempsey had to fight his way back onto the starting lineup every time they switched managers, he won that manager over, even though the manager came in thinking, well, I like these guys here. These are going to be my top guys in the team. And then Dempsey would just play his way into being one of those guys. And
what happened with Scally as well. Scally was playing week in, week out for Gladbach because the consistent backs were injured.
The left back was, yeah.
And then came back, and then all of a sudden Scally was benched for a couple of games. But then he came back as a starter for moving forward, you know.
Right. The guy had a couple mediocre games, and the guy's like, yeah, I'd rather have Scally start at left back. Fuck this.
Why did I take him off the field to begin with?
That was just like the surprise first season when Scally was all of a sudden starting, and we were like, wow, that was fast.
He played half a season with their 2 team the previous season.
Yeah, but
and then all of a sudden, bam.
Here's a kid who didn't even get to start at fucking New York City FC. He rode pine. And then he goes straight to the Bundesliga and starts him. What does that say about some MLS teams?
Because talent's not their brightest.
Well, yeah, because remember who told us that Pulisic wasn't wanted by MLS teams because he was considered too small.
Too small.
I mean, that's the kind of ridiculous shit that's on fucking paper that's been said, that people have said. Who was the guy who said, I tried to push Pulisic on MLS teams, they didn't want anything to do with him? Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but
there you go. So there's
I do remember hearing that, yeah.
There is still some idiocy floating around in MLS that needs to be fixed, obviously. The Orange Hex.
Just big thing is just to read this. So MLS transfers and tack don't get along. It's like mixing hot oil and water. They just don't like each other. Well, let me
Okay.
rephrase this. It's probably more on MLS transfers not liking tact, but so here's what tact is in the blue.
Tack says one thing U.S. soccer culture has to evolve in the next 4 to 8 years is the understanding that you build around the actual technical players. It's a basic thought. Now, that is generally true. Players with the highest ability have to be the protagonists, not the hustle merchants. Hustle merchants are the sidekicks. That's a fun take. I don't mean it's not specific to anybody, but I know probably who he's talking about. And then someone says, I don't know who this is, man, just spit out the coldest takes like he's a genius. Unreal.
It's its own DMs and everything. So,
dude, if you think that Tack's trying to be a philosopher, there's nothing that deep about what he said. It was actually very like surface level. This is exactly what I mean, this is like, that's not a deep discussion about what needs to happen. That's like a first step of what needs to happen. There's a lot of other things that need to happen, but this is just one step. This isn't philosophy. This is a basic idea. This guy doesn't know the difference between a basic idea, expression of an opinion, and a philosophy. Like, when's the last time you've heard, Tack talk about Kierkegaard or Nietzsche or never? This isn't about philosophy for him. It's about loving the game and talking about some tactics. Tactics aren't necessarily there's maybe a philosophical element to them, but it's not existential in the way living life and death is. I mean, a lot of people do think soccer's life and death, but I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun, and life isn't always fun. Professor McGonagall. Why is it when something happens, it's always you three? Whenever U.S. men's national team drops and you go to social media because you want to see some bad takes. Maxwell, 11 Yanks, tactical manager. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Bad takes? Bad takes? Who's this? Who said this?
This came from Reddit. So Reddit/MLS. So they posted it on there. But yeah. Yes.
You want to see bad takes.
So basically they're saying that these three have bad takes on any U.S. or any news that comes out, any U.S. men's national team news. So it's like Berhalter makes it out of the group stage, so then they go and they're like, well, maybe he wasn't, he didn't play the way that they wanted him to, or something like that.
I can give him a list of people he can go to get some bad takes, but these would not be anywhere near bad take people. And I'm not I don't watch everything Maxwell does, so I don't know. But I know Pete and Tact enough to know that they don't have bad takes. But I think it's funny. I think. So Pete retweeted it because he found it hilarious. I find it hilariously bad. It's a bad meme. It is a bad meme. Because it's inaccurate.
A meme should never require that much buildup. You should never have to write a paragraph to lead into a meme. The meme should just speak for itself.
Yeah.
So no, it's he absolutely he's a simple man. When I find a funny meme, I share it. But he also
I'm glad Pete found it funny, but I found it a little uneducated.
Yeah. He was living rent-free in these people's heads is fun. Considering I've been compared to both Hitler and ISIS, this one is mild and got a chuckle out of me.
Good for you, Pete. Good for you. Keep it lighthearted, buddy. I'm sure you'll laugh at that cartoon photo or cartoon rendition of yourself as well. Because it's pretty funny.
Pete and Tact have definitely been getting hit of recent.
Why? By whom?
Just the standard MLS apologists, basically, who claim that Pete and Tact are MLS haters.
Wow, I'd like
Tact follows Orlando, or he works with Orlando, right?
He did, not anymore. But yeah, that's just not true. And again, you're not allowed to have your own truth and make up your own fucking Disneyland. So no, they are not MLS haters. That's just a stupid thing. I mean, we don't get accused of being MLS haters. I don't get it. Why? We say pretty much a lot of the same things they do, but we don't get accused of that. So
we don't draw on any of the hate, actually.
I mean, I don't know why you want to.
I don't know if that is a negative towards us. Maybe people don't find us threatening, I guess, or something. But
maybe they do.
Maybe they just maybe they don't want to draw our ire, because we're more than happy to profit off our haters. We'll make an entire show based off of you.
Well,
no problem doing that.
When I went on Twitter and I made a tweet that said, I'm really only here for the juicy stuff. That's some of the juicy stuff, which is somebody saying I'm a fucking idiot. Well, okay. How am I an idiot? Let's have it out. Let's talk it out. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if I can get kicked off Twitter in about 10 minutes. But so far, so good. And I don't know. I just don't know where all this hate comes from for Pete and Tact. I mean, if you listen to their show, they're not like outrageous in any way. They're saying pretty rational, common sense things. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Are we ready to start the show yet?
Here in just a second. Let's Berlin wanted to bring up a couple of topics that aren't on our Turdies.
Okay.
So we can talk about some of these hashtags he brought up.
Okay. All right. So
we have hashtag fire the turd.
Iran. Yeah, makes sense. Shame of Minnesota. Who's that?
Shame of Minnesota is the Minnesota game that took place in the Arctic tundra. We had to make sure that we played a game where we knew we were going to have American supporters.
Is that game where the Honduran goalie had to have his testicle removed from his thigh because it was frozen to his thigh?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was also the game that Matt Turner did not get frostbite on his big toe.
Or his tip of his penis. But rumors already did both. GeoGate. Yep, that was atrocious.
These are all big things this year.
Sergeant Team 867.
That's funny he brought that one up, because that wasn't this year. That wasn't no. That would have been the beginning of this year when he was still playing in the EPL. That basically Berlin started a movement to try to get Sargent into the midfield because he's not a striker.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Well, Taylor, I hate to break it to you, but he is a striker. He could play midfield. I don't know. It wouldn't. He could play center attacking midfield, second striker, something like that. Dundee Awards 2022. We did
the Dundee Awards last year, and then we renamed it the Turdies this year.
We did?
Yeah, we did a Dundee's Award thing at the end of last year.
Okay, well that's news to me.
I was there, but I
don't remember. All right, Manager Tactical 3.5 million World Cup views. That's like not even close to what we got. We got way less.
Actually, I made the comment to Derek after one of our shows recently. We've actually had more growth after we exited the World Cup than during the World Cup itself. I'm not sure how that worked out, but we'll take it.
What happened was Berhalter opened mouth and inserted foot. That's what really happened. Derek's Sextall. Yeah, more to come.
How's that coming along? Is it coming along good?
I haven't started it. Going to do it on the 23rd, 24th. Going to put together the cartoon for that. I'm just hoping this other computer can handle it because there are lots of slides. So, and traditionally I make about 5-second clips, not like a 2-minute video. So we'll see what happens. I hope I don't end up throwing it out the window. All right, let's move on.
Jose has a good point as far as tax and our views.
Oh no, we didn't.
We didn't stream nearly as much as they did.
No, we did not. They were doing live streams, this stream, that stream, crossing streams, you name it.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross streams.
Well, and they were also doing non-USA games too. So
Dude, we got
They're
20.
all over the place.
I know, but we got 28 categories to get through, so we might want to get to the actual show at some
Fuck
point.
that. We're good.
All right. Here we go. It is the first annual the Turdies. It is the Turdies. We love those Turdies. All right. So, as we said, some Turdies are good, some Turdies are bad. Just matters, just how the intestinal system is working that day. And so there'll be good and bad here. But these are our first annual awards. So let's start with the first category. U.S. Player of the Year. Brett's going to be watching the chat. So we're going to get your opinion on this. I'm going to have an opinion.
In the chat, down there. Put who you think.
Brett's going to have an opinion. You're going to have an opinion. We're all going to come together, and we're going to pick the U.S. Player of the Year. Brett, can I start with who mine is?
Sure, why not?
For me, it's Tyler Adams. I think he has climbed the largest mountain and made the most progress in the last year. He has started to look like a legit kind of player that teams in the top 5, 6 in the Premier League would be thirsting for. So, and I thought outside of his gaffe against the Netherlands, it was the only mistake he made in the whole World Cup.
Yeah.
It was a big one. That's true. But for me, he was the U.S. Player of the Year.
Before I jump in, just so I can see up the chat, we have a rolled on here. Tyler Adams.
Yes.
I'm going to skip all the other Adams up to this point, but we have Greg Berhalter, Pulisic, Shaq Moore, got James Sands, got a My Grandma.
But we love your grandma, Jose.
Zimmerman.
I don't know her. I'm not saying I'm there with the grandma. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't forget Leget's there too.
Right.
Tim Ream. Tim Ream's an interesting one.
You know what? You could really make a case for Tim Ream, honestly. He'd be in the top 5.
What a great redemption story, redemption arc for Ream. Going from being part of a player with under Berhalter's system to just getting nixed altogether.
Yep.
And then brought back in the World Cup and being one of the top players.
Being told he's too slow to play a high line.
Yeah. And
the way we want to play. Yeah. What a joke. What a fucking jerk off. Greg. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'm all up for Tim Ream, but Brett, who did you have?
I did put Pulisic in this sense. I like that.
What the fuck does that mean? What are you living your own truth?
My own truth, yes.
You either did or you did not. There is no in between.
There is, in a sense.
Okay. Do or do not.
Do or do not. There's no pick. But yeah, no, I picked Pulisic. So this is a tricky one because obviously Adams is a great pick because he's not only had a wonderful year after getting pulled away from Leipzig and starting and doing well under Marsh at Leeds. He's absolutely instrumental for our midfield.
You're talking about Adams now.
For Adams, yes.
Yeah.
And obviously he had a solid World Cup. I picked Pulisic because Pulisic is, quite frankly,
a virgin.
Yeah. There's that too. Spoiler alert for the upcoming slide there. Come on, man. No, but I picked Pulisic because he's been instrumental in almost all of our big goals that we needed.
Okay. So, but what does the crowd say? Do they agree with you or me?
I saw a hell of a lot more Adams than Pulisic's.
Okay, then there it is. The U.S. Player of the Year this year for the Turdies is Tyler Adams. Well, let's move on to the next one since we got 1,000 of these. American Manager of the Year. Well, this is pretty easy. It ain't Berhalter.
Damn it, screw.
I mean, I picked Marsh. I don't know who you picked, but I picked Marsh because I think Marsh this year saved Leeds from going down. And even though they're struggling this year, it looks like every time his back's against the wall, they managed to pull something out. I'm going to give it to Jesse Marsh this year. Who'd you have?
So the chat has Jason Chris. We got Jim Curtin.
Jim Curtin's a good pick.
We got that jumped up real quick. We got a tactical manager here.
Not a manager.
We got a Hugo Perez.
Good pick.
You
I
can
like
make
that one
argument.
too.
Yeah, that's a. I didn't even think. Unfortunately, I didn't even think of Hugo in this pick.
I mean, what he did with El Salvador is
yeah.
pretty impressive. I mean,
Solid
yeah,
work there.
they finished near the bottom of the. Yes, they did, but they
but
they
it's
were
El
competitive.
Salvador. I mean, yeah, exactly.
They were competitive. That's amazing.
They held the U.S. in 2 matches to 1
Yep.
goal.
Who'd you have?
I also picked Marsh for the exact same reasons you said. They avoided relegation, and despite the fact that they're not getting the results they need. They're playing well this season.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if Leeds this window, if Leeds can find a center back, or left back, I mean, center back or left back, either one.
Well,
the guy what's the guy's name out left?
Well, right now it's Struck, but
so he's been playing well as a left back.
But the Brazilian guy's back and healthy that everybody hates at Leeds. So he got some time versus Monaco yesterday, and he was okay. But Leeds lost to Monaco 4-2. Adams, interestingly, or not interestingly, he just didn't play. He's still resting up. I'm sure his tires were blown from playing the World Cup.
Actually, I do remember Leeds playing at least on the Twitters. I mean, I remember seeing Gnotto's name popping up a lot.
He was great too, by the way, and I think he might just be earning himself, along with Somerville, a lot more playing time going forward for Jesse. I really do. I think they've been that good.
Well, I mean, Harrison's played himself off at this point.
I agree. All right,
I picked Marsh as well. I thought that was the glaringly obvious one.
Yep, Jesse Marsh, American Manager of the Year
for the most part.
The Turdies.
Agreeing.
Matarazzo just got fired, so I can't put him on there. Sorry, Tom.
I mean, he did a hell of a job with them for the longest time. I mean, given his constraints.
Yeah, Stuttgart does not spend money, and he did manage to keep them up for 2 seasons, and it just was looking really bad, and so he's gone. All right, so best looking U.S. player. And really, this answer hasn't really changed for many, many years. I think the answer still makes this screwed. I don't know. I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said you have to fuck a dude that plays soccer for the U.S. men's national team or has, I'd be like, just go get Knicks. Fuck it. Let's just do this. Let's get it over with.
Jose's won it already. Breckshay.
No. Breckshay. No.
So
Yuck.
Stratman says sounds a little gay in my opinion.
I have no insecurities about my manhood, my friend.
No, so my pick, and some people have already picked it, is I picked Weah.
You picked Weah?
Yeah. But then you know what? Other honorable mention, Legit.
That's Legit gets older.
Watch out. This is spoiler territory. Let's not talk about that.
I mean, Legit's okay looking, but I still don't think he's in Becky G's league. But that's just me. He's got a big honker, a large nose. I mean,
we've seen the caricature of you, Derek. We know you have no room to talk about noses.
I know the character's just wrong. I do not have a gigantic nose. So yeah, does this category seem a little? I mean, for those who are a little insecure.
Spoiler alert, Tom. Stop talking about this.
We're getting to that, Tom.
Seriously, come on.
We've got 28 fucking categories. God damn. Give your cock a break here. We're going to get to that stroke soon. All right. Best looking player. I don't know. What's your pick, Brett?
I picked Weah.
Listen, I've never really thought of Weah as a looker. Why are you picking Weah?
He's ripped. He's got, like a 22 pack.
I'm serious. I don't think you thought about this long and hard.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from with Mix. I mean, he's got the whole Jesus look, and he's here to save you, Derek. But yes, I did think about this. I don't think about this. I didn't think about this for long and hard. Why would I have to think about this long and hard?
I was waiting for you to figure out what I just said.
The wheels were clicking. They're a little behind on everything there.
I don't think you thought about this category very long and hard. Okay, people. So what is it?
So I actually also did put Alex Morgan on there too.
You can't. This is the men's category, not the women's.
Yeah.
We're not doing the women's category here. So, all right, folks, what is it? You got to tell us. Is it Mix or is it Weah? What's it look like out there, Brett?
The chat's gone off the reservation when it comes to goes, well, Jackie says, I haven't seen a picture of Mix in 5 years.
Oh, they're up there. You can find them.
Yeah.
I look them up all the time. You know what I mean? So no.
All right, the chat is shot here. They're all over the place.
They shot their load. All right, just
all over their keyboard.
flip a digital coin.
Stuck.
Flip a digital coin.
Here, I won.
I guess so. All right, you win. Way is a fashion model. I did not know that. Okay.
Fine way if I had to pick.
No, it's saying you have to do anything.
Look, there's another one I didn't even think about.
Otis Sally.
He is in fact a model. He's actually more of a model than he is a soccer player.
I don't even remember
what played himself out.
I don't even remember what he looks like. He hasn't played for so long. All right. Next category: best player under 19.
Okay, so before we even jump into this, did you see the Young Player of the Year award by USSF?
No.
Oh,
yes,
geez.
yes.
They're like
Musa, right?
Yeah, well, no, they haven't. I don't know if they announced it yet. But regardless, they're like, oh, it's Paxton Aronson. There's
no, it's not.
Diego Luna. There's this guy.
No,
there's that guy. And all of a sudden, there's Yunus Musa, and you're like, well, this. Somebody's put their thumb down on the scale on this one. How could you not go with Musa?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're comparing grapes to pineapples. This is ridiculous.
I understand he fits the criteria for the age bracket, but I mean, he's legitimately starting in Europe. He's played almost every game when healthy for the United States.
He just played a fucking World Cup.
And he played a World Cup every single match, almost actually every minute, probably, I think. So
end of story.
How do you not have him in there?
Yeah.
So
the winner is Musa.
I posted the picture. I'm like, this is definitely slighted one way, you know?
Yeah. This one was easy.
But yeah, okay. So Kevin says, is Scally under 19? I think he is.
So is he
anymore?
I thought he just turned 20, but it
maybe.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's still Musa in my book.
It's still Musa over Scally, although Scally should have played the World
Here
Cup.
we go. No, it is not. No, he's not.
Yeah. I thought
Musa's already 20, apparently.
Wasn't he 19 during the World Cup, though? Because they said it 1,000 times.
Yunus Musa. November 29th. So, yeah, he just turned.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what I thought. All right. Next category. Yeah, we needed more sound effects for this show. Yeah. American player most likely to have herpes.
I can't wait for the chat on this one.
This is an odd category. Sorry.
I saw this on there. I'm like, I don't have a fucking answer for this.
Doesn't have to be U.S. men's national team player. It just has to be an American soccer player. And I'm going to, based on the personal stories I have heard, that player would be Breck Shea.
All right, let's see.
Without a doubt. That's Breck Shea. He was a man whore when he was at Dallas.
It's a great answer. It's a great answer.
According to all of his roommates, by the way. And I have inside info on all of that.
This is fascinating to see. We got Weston.
Weston is a party
animal. Yeah.
He did get Pulisic's sister too. So
he had a Breck Shea. McKinney
I'm just kidding about Pulisic's sister. I don't want a lawsuit. Weston
100%.
Okay,
Breck Shea. Weston.
Ooh, this is close.
I'm guessing that's for McKinney. We got a Weston.
It's like Tom got
McKinney,
lazy.
Weston, Miazga. There we go. Oh, how about that one?
Oh, Solo's roast beef.
McKinney, Weston.
Okay.
Euro, Weston. Oh, geez, this is like
you guys
really
are overruling
here,
my
guys.
pick. Who was your pick, Brett? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Here's a new one.
I'm sorry, but Lawless was not the guy getting a lot of you know what back in the
BMR 209 wins it.
Herpes gets Breck Shea.
Turdies is sitting there talking to all the other STDs. Ah, Christ, I got another Brechet.
God damn it, I'm on Brechet. This sucks.
Oh, no, this is great.
All right, so there we go. The winner
Oh,
is
man. There we go. There's a winner.
God, heresy.
I'm pretty positive that he'd probably be the least likely character to get.
I don't remember him getting a lot of pussy in the Bible.
Not only that, but I'm pretty positive that God would send penicillin.
You know,
Not penicillin, doesn't do herpes.
there's the news that came out this week. All those that cult leader that just got arrested, and he was married to like 6 13-year-olds or whatever. It's like, it's really weird that Jesus Christ didn't use his power to have a harem.
He's been turning the water into wine. He gets all the ladies in.
Sure. I mean, he could have done whatever he wanted, but I guess he just kind of after a day of telling everybody about, God and turning water into wine.
Chris, my man.
After a full day of doing that and talking to all his disciples, he just went back behind a corner somewhere behind a tree and just, rubbed one out, because there is no way Jesus Christ did not have sex as a grown man. Anyhow, but that's not in the Bible. Mary Magdalene spit in his mouth once.
Oh, no.
All right. We're going to get blasted by people for being sacrilege. But honestly, hey, we don't care. You can believe whatever you want. I mean, I'm not here to give you a sermon on, religion. So, all right. All herpes cases originate from James Bond. The other 28% is from Breck Shea. Maybe Breck Shea should still win this award. What do you think, Brett?
Breck Shea? No. Everybody's picking Wes. Unfortunately,
I don't care.
I
don't want to give Wes herpes. I'm sorry.
And I think Breck Shea is the clear-cut winner in our book.
I mean, listen, most likely to have herpes. That's Breck Shea. That is not Wes. I'm sure Wes slaps on a rubber or whatever.
He's protected. He carries protection with him.
He parties in a very conscious and thoughtful way. So I'm still giving this to Breck Shea, and that's the final answer. Breck Shea
likes to like to unskin his snake all the time.
He loves snakes. Thank you, Jose. It's most likely not already has it. Yes, that's what I was saying. He's probably already got it. So
thanks for the 199, man.
So the wording says have herpes. Have. Not gonna get, but have. All right. Next, funniest moment in U.S. soccer 2022. Brett, I don't think there's any doubt what the funniest moment was. Wasn't it the interview with Reina and Christian Pulisic?
Yes, that's a legit good answer, and that's the answer I would go with too. However, for shits and giggles, I did write down the funniest moment in 2022 was the newest spin on why Brooks was excluded each window.
Yeah, those were pretty funny, but they were also kind of irritating.
No, absolutely. The Reina and Pulisic interview was the best.
That's the one I should have told you pre-show to queue up. Oh, I blew it.
That was such a great interview.
Man, it was fantastic. I can't. Yeah, this is the one where.
Oh, there's another good one.
Jedi Celebration was good.
Yeah.
Although that was also scary for a second.
Yeah.
The bounce passes were pretty funny.
I think the bounce pass to Reina in the World Cup was the funniest because he missed by a goddamn mile.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that interview where Reina is basically bumping Pulisic and saying, hey, man,
you gonna save me on this one?
You gonna talk about how great I was? The bro interview was good, but I think we overplayed it. So more verticality.
Pulisic saying shit.
When did he say shit?
Did he say, is that the interview where he's like, we got to try some new shit? Or did he say stuff?
I don't know. But, I mean, him saying shit is great. He needs to say shit more often.
Yeah, he needs to start expressing himself a little more.
Yeah, I don't know if that was funny or just sort of like an in-your-face sort of thing. But funny for me. I mean, I was laughing my ass off at that fucking Pulisic Reina interview. To me, that was tops.
Oh, okay. So yeah, first off, Kevin says anything that we do.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Where'd you go, Lefty? There you are.
Ballistic at the hotel on morphine.
He's like, yeah, recording video.
Yeah, that was the side of Ballistic I hadn't seen for some time. He was definitely on something because he was, I mean, he looked like I don't know. I'm going to say something I don't want to say, so I'm not going to say it. All right, next category.
I guess if we had to pick one, though, I think I'm sticking with Reyna. And
me too.
And
Reyna, Ballistic interview. Best fucking hilarious shit. Worst moment in U.S. soccer this year. Worst moment? Brad, I'm going with Greg and that speech to the Moral Leadership Council of the world.
Okay, so I was just going to sum it all up and just say GeoGate as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole thing was arguably the most frustrating. We made 2 or 3 live streams out of the topic as a whole. So I mean, clearly it was a bad situation, and it could have been avoided.
Yep.
That's frustrating.
And it didn't need to be brought back up in front of 196 other supposed moral leaders who weren't moral at all. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them weren't. Pink Taco. Oh, Jesus Christ, what a name. Anytime Areola played.
So we have definitely some GeoGates here. We have anything GGG.
Well, mine is GGG. So yes.
The turd.
The turd in Iran. Yeah, that was bad.
That's a good one.
Lost to Canada. That was pretty embarrassing.
No, we dominated though.
We dominated that game. We fucking dominated.
It's funny because everything goes back to Greg in the end.
Mm-hmm. So either way you slice this one up, I'm going to give it to GeoGate because it was unnecessary and didn't have to happen.
Lost?
Not in public.
Lost to Honduras? When did that happen?
Yeah, we didn't lose. Right.
Maybe he's mixing it up with somebody else.
Maybe. All right, next category. That one we picked.
Hold on, I'm just scrolling through the rest of these.
That's Greg.
P. Fox miss at Azteca. That was pretty bad.
Oh, guys, sometimes guys miss shots, even point blank. Happens.
All right.
Best soccer writer in 2022.
So I don't pay attention to who really writes articles that I read, and I don't go out of my way to make sure I read anybody in particular. So just to troll the situation, I wrote Matt Doyle.
What? Not Doyle. I went with Brian Schroeder. I mean, I still read everything he writes on ASN, and it's well balanced and thoughtful. And
I catch his Twitter feed. I don't read his articles. I mean, I will dive into it if there's something that's pressing that we need. Like, hey, Weston said something juicy. Like, oh, really? You're gonna check that out.
I mean, Brian wants to keep his access, so he's not saying anything ridiculous or outrageous, but he's basically calling it how it is, and without, saying anything that's going to get him in trouble. He's saying it in a way that's critical, but not getting him in trouble. So, the Straight Red Cards Twitter feed.
It's the best. It's the best.
It
is. We're going to go out there.
You're the best, buddy.
Adam wrote Grant.
The late Grant Wall.
Give it to Grant.
I mean, we could.
Chris did say Brian is good, not a shill.
Yep.
29 gets it.
He's not a soccer writer.
That we know of, at least.
Yeah, we don't.
What about this one?
Who? No.
Let's see here. There we go. This is a good one.
So that was my second pick. Okay. Regalia, you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. So we got Meg. We got Meg's won.
Meg wins.
Clearly.
Best soccer writer in 2022 is Meg Swanwick. Although, I mean, Brian's been doing a lot of work, but that's okay. Meg does a lot of work too. And the great thing about Meg is that the information she has, she shares with us lowly little YouTube podcasters. So there you go. She comes on our show. She goes on Sam's show. She goes, I don't know where. We were the 2 shows that had her on. But that's how we found out about the whole Brooks thing before the Brooks thing was a Brooks thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We did. That was Meg. All right, so Meg gets it. Meg Swanek, worst U.S. soccer writer. Now this one's easy for me for this year.
Doyle. No.
Well, man, that's
he's won both. How does that work out?
I'm going with Michael DeCourcy. I'm sorry. Nobody
You don't have to be sorry about that.
Nobody gargles Greg Berhalter nutsack.
Again,
good as
USSF has some good fluffers.
I mean,
ready to go.
Even after Greg came out and made an ass of himself in front of 120 or 196 of the world's moralist leaders, he still said this is the perfect example of why Greg should be rehired for the next World Cup. No, you can't be Matt Doyle.
I don't think Lawless and Stu don't write.
They don't write. DeCourcy, listen,
on Fox.
Doyle has not said that regardless of all of Greg's faults, he needs to be rehired. Doyle's not said that. DeCourcy has said that. Even after the moral leader conference, he still said, this is a great, he didn't say, oh, well, Greg made him a little error there. No. It's no big deal. He said, no, this is prime example of why Greg Berhalter should be hired, because he's holding Gio accountable in front of the world. That makes him a good leader. Come on, Michael. No, it doesn't. It makes him a shitty leader and an asshole. Okay. Well, this is for this year, Jose, though. This year.
We can't take into consideration the previous 14.
And you got to keep
I will say we've had an interaction with Matt Doyle in the past. He probably doesn't even remember us by any means.
Probably not. Because that was mostly with the whole interview. Although Matt was in the room, it was with Jonah.
Yeah.
Jonah Friedman. Yeah.
But yeah. But take it for what it is. But
I
really think Doyle's taking it though.
I get it.
That's on Doyle's side.
I get it, but I can't give Doyle the worst U.S. soccer writer rating for this year.
What Doyle has going for him in this sense is that he's definitely an MLS pundit, but he's also a troll. And he'll go out there just to troll and rile everybody up. And he does a great job at it.
Yeah, he does it on purpose. So I'm sorry, but I can't, even though the people have spoke.
So you're sticking with McDouchery or what's his name?
Mike DeCourcy.
Sorry.
Mike DeCourcy gets the award this year just for his World Cup coverage.
And thank goodness he writes, because you would not be able to understand anything he says with Berhalter's nuts in his mouth.
No, it would sound like right. Oh no. It's hard to talk with a pair of nuts in your mouth. Just ask any of your ex-girlfriends. All right. Next, best U.S. soccer commentator. Oh, Jesus. I know.
Okay, so I guess I got to specify. Commentator, are we just talking about the play-by-play of the game, or are we talking about the people in the booth during halftime and post shows?
Yeah, I think it's like the Dempseys and the Gooches.
Yeah, sure. You're sticking with Paramount, but okay.
Yeah, I'm doing Paramount right now, but then you got Lawless and you got
Holden. You got Tight Shirt with ESPN.
You know what's the crazy thing? Between Lawless and his sidekick guy, whose name I can't remember right now.
Who are we talking about? Wait, what?
Lawless.
And
his sidekick dude that co-hosts his show with him.
Oh, yeah. Who are you talking about? I can't either.
What's his name? The sidekick guy is the guy that should have been doing the commentating during halftime. I know he hasn't played in a World Cup and all that shit. What's his name? It's
I can pull it up here.
He's great. Somebody will know this. Mossy, thank you. Between the two of them, Mossy's much more of a rational fucking human being who
I think that's what makes Lawless entertaining and brings the conversation up, is that Lawless will literally just say the biggest, craziest thing out of left field. And maybe he legitimately agrees with it and believes it, but he knows what it takes to get people communicating, talking.
I just think that Mossy's less of a suck up.
Fair enough.
And you know, who's the Mossy on this show? It'd be you. You're the grown up. Lawless is a child. All right.
You just sided yourself with Lawless, just so you know.
I know. That's horrible. All right. So who's the best commentator
All
of
right.
all
So
those
while you're
guys?
thinking about this, Ian Dark is not a US. Well, so this is this. We got to specify this too.
Yeah, they can be a
He
foreign.
commentates for the US,
Right.
But it can be foreign. Okay, so anybody who commentates. Well, that changes some things up.
But
though,
he's not.
I'm sticking with US. I'm sticking with US.
Yeah.
Type players. Players
I like it too.
I had a do too.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I like Mo. I think Mo is really pretty honest for the most part. But I also really enjoy Dempsey. Stu? No.
What?
No.
There are a lot
John,
of Dempseys
I
in
can't
here.
abide by that.
A lot of Dempseys. We got a couple Tacks. Tacks are in there.
Let's let the people decide this. No, Tack's not a U.S. soccer commentator. He is a YouTuber. So Joe Tatino and Kobe Jones.
We got Herc and Seb.
You know, I don't really think of Herc as sort of the halftime guy, right? Or else he would fit into this category, but I really don't think he does.
The big on the chat has been Dempsey and Herc for the most part.
We do have another category about mainstream, like critical soccer people, and I think that's where Herc fits in. So
many.
I don't know. I think I might stick with that. Maybe Dempsey. I'm
sticking our pick. I like our pick, but the chat is absolutely split between Herc and Demp.
Well, Herc's got another category he fits into, but he doesn't really fit into this one. He's not like the halftime guy. He's the guy after. So this category needs to be better defined, I think.
Sure.
Because I think this is more of a halftime show sort of thing. So, okay.
Donovan.
I frankly enjoyed Donovan this World Cup.
I tweet your own. You get tweet your own.
I liked it. I mean, I liked what he had to say. So, yeah, me too. And we got a category for that too later coming up. So,
all right. So
next.
So wait. So I guess we're going with it's going with Dempsey then.
Yeah, we'll let the fans have this.
Not a single person put Adu, so
yeah,
just us. So it's funny how you and I agreed with that.
Yeah,
but nobody else has mentioned it. Everybody's done with them.
I do love Clint, so
yeah. I mean, the Paramount Crew has been the best in my opinion, because I like the connection. And while I'm not a Davies fan on Jimmy's show per se.
Mm-hmm.
His takes, I'm always half and half with that. But when you throw him with Dempsey and Adu and Gooch, and I'm missing somebody. Am I missing somebody there? Or is that it? Paramount Crew.
No, that's it.
Okay. When you put those four together, that's some good chemistry there. And they do well to, like, bouncing off each other. You know, there's the camaraderie because obviously they all play together. But it's a good group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next category. Yeah, sure. Worst U.S. soccer commentator. Now we're talking about Stu Holden being in this up for this.
All right. Yeah, I had mine's Holden. Yeah.
I mean, to me, Stu is the biggest suck up.
So Stu is who Tight Shirt was on the first couple of years of commentating. When Tight Shirt went from player to commentator, that's that. On the fence, middle of the ground, not really taking a side on anything, and just milk toasting it up.
Pretty much the whole World Cup. Yeah.
And Stu's kind of been leaning into his inner Lawless recently. He's been having some great takes, but as a whole, I think Stu is still that kind of middle of the ground type of commentator, and that makes for boring content.
It does, although Lawless's takes annoy the fuck out of me, and I find him extremely predictable.
Yeah.
I know exactly going into halftime what he's going to say and how he's going to deliver it. He delivers it the same way every time. I don't know. I mean, Stu seems like the winner so far, so I don't know. There's a Lawless.
Ooh, we have an Adu in there. Weird.
Ooh, okay,
That must have been overflow from the previous show.
John Rex hitting back. He's like, nah, you can't wreck me, bitch. I'm wrecking you back.
We got Lawless. We got Stu, Lawless.
I think the Stews have it.
There's a tight shirt. Stu and tight shirt. Stu. God. Sorry, Sam.
So Stu. All right.
Yeah,
Stu
it seems to be
Bolton.
a Stu thing.
Worst U.S. soccer commentator. He's not really a U.S. soccer commentator. He's just a loudmouth idiot. All right. Next category.
So I can stand Stu when Lawless is available.
That's true. It gets better in that situation. U.S. player most likely to be a virgin. This one is so easy. It's Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
When have you?
I'm going solely off of your knowledge of whether or not he's had sex. I don't know, but
dude,
I'm with you on that.
Okay, you just had to watch the interview he did with what's this? For the left back for Chelsea, Ben Stillwell.
Chilwell.
And Stillwell, where he talks about his Chilwell, where he. What did I say?
Stillwell.
Oh, what an idiot. So yeah, where he just like kind of openly admits how bad he is with girls, which is one. And number two, have you ever seen him in a photo going out at night, like by the paparazzi catching him?
I'm seeing him with the Instagram model.
I've never seen him with a girl in my life,
or a boy. Just said one.
Or a boy.
He has that picture with that Instagram model.
That is a brief moment in time.
You just said you've never seen a picture of him with a girl. I gave you an example.
They're not on a date. All right? This has been like a paparazzi photo of him being caught going out on a date, like in the old days where John Terry and, you get guys, they go out to dinner with girls. This happens. And the journalists take photos of it and they post them up. Well, you're never going to find, if you go look up in Google, Josh Sargent's girlfriend, you'll find his wife. If you look up Christian Pulisic's girlfriend, you're not going to find dick. So I don't care. I've never seen him on a date with a guy. I don't care what it is, but I know one thing. He's most likely to be a virgin. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Maybe he's really religious kid. So maybe he's saving himself. So
here's what pops up.
Not much.
There's literally no picture of Christian
Pulisic with a girl, except his mother and his sister.
Must be the sister.
Yeah. And then what's that? Is that Harry Kane in the top left talking to his girlfriend? That shouldn't come up for Christian Pulisic.
Well, I mean, we got Aronson sitting here.
Right? Yeah. All right, so that's settled. Christian Pulisic wins that award, and we're going to move on here at the Turdies. U.S. player.
So going back through here, John said break Shea as one. I'm sure there are a lot of ladies in the Dallas area that wants to break Shea as well.
I think John Rex just being contrarian tonight. It's pretty obvious based on what I know about Breck Shea. He's certainly not a virgin. Greg Berhalter. Well, outside the fact that he has children, unless they were made by the mailman, which is possible. Okay, next category.
Well, it can't be Horvath. Horvath enjoys sitting on wood.
He does. He enjoys riding.
Damned English.
Riding pine. So in that case, he's certainly not a butt virgin. All right, let's move on. Brett, enough of the virgin one. All right. Player most likely to punch Greg in the face.
So you have two topics, and there's going to be one. I think it's probably immediately following this one. But there are two topics, and I'm like, well, geez. I mean, there are a number of players that would do either of these two.
Yes, but I think this one is most likely John Brooks. Don't you think John Brooks would like to punch Greg in the face? I bet you he would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Reyna was close to that too. But no, Brooks got royally screwed for half a year.
Yeah, I think that Brooks is more likely to punch Greg in the
Oh,
face.
gee. I've never seen a chat blow up on this one. Jesus. Hold on. Let's see here. We're going back up to the top. We got a Geo. We got a Hoppy. John says me.
John.
We got
Who
Brooks.
are you, John?
Geo. Himself. Geo, Brooks, Lucadeo, Tori, Miazga. I think Miazga's going to come up later.
Yeah.
Brooks, Hoppy, Brooks, all
It's
the
Brooks.
above.
Yeah.
It's all the above.
It is, but it's the most likely. And to me, Brooks is the kind of guy who doesn't like to take a lot of shit. I think he would punch him in the face. If he saw him today, he'd punch him in the face.
The entire jeez. There you go, Derek.
Oh, Sola. Well,
She's got a history. She's got a history of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the chat is basically a who's who of who Berhalter fucked over in this World Cup.
Yeah. But the key is here finding out who's most likely to throw a punch. And I think it's John Brooks. John Brooks is pissed off. I don't care what Hoppy has no reason to expect to be on this World Cup. He went to Middlesbrough. He doesn't play.
All but rolled on.
But Brooks had every reason to be on this roster and during qualifying and did not make it. I think he's the most upset and egregiously fucked over. So I think Brooks would punch him in the face.
So as we're jumping from that topic to the next topic here, who's most likely to junk punch Greg?
That one's simple.
That's definitely Miazga. Miazga has a tendency of grabbing other males' genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
So
grabbing, punching, clubbing, you name. So we can skip past this one because that one's a joke. Matt Miazga wins that award. All right. Player who throws the best parties. Well, here's where we got Wes.
Yes. This is definitely a Wes. I mean, hell, Wes got busted during COVID throwing a party
twice.
And he went out partying in Nashville. So clearly it's a Wes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument here. Yep. McKenny wins this one hands down. Leia. What? I've never heard about that.
Brooks. It's Breck Shea. Those are individual parties.
But Breck's married now. This isn't like nice. If you would have said that Breck, say 2011, 2012, I would agree with you. But I think he's settled down. Now he's into painting and snakes and nipple art. He likes to paint his wife's breasts and then photograph them, which is fine. That's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right. Next category. This was Weston McKinney won that one. Most likely to have a small member. What the fuck? Was I high when I wrote these?
You must have been, yeah.
I'm going to have to publicly come out and say who I think has a small penis on the.
Well, you have to go off of the confidence meter because usually you have big dick energy, and then you have small dick energy. So I went with Ferreira because he likes confidence.
You can't. You just pinned the small dick on Ferreira.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I mean, it's just really going to play. That's really going to play a factor with his mentality.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Derek, you wouldn't have made a slide if you'd have wanted somebody to say something.
I know. I don't know why I made this.
Oh, that would have been the obvious answer. Come on. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Yeah, this one's really difficult for me.
Jesus has good genetics.
I mean, I was going to say this one's really hard for me, but.
Well, I mean, it can still be hard. That's fine. It's be hard and small.
Wouldn't come out right. Ooh, yuck, that gets even worse. All right.
There you go. Nice.
I don't know the answer to this. Who's the smallest?
Oh, that's another good point. Why didn't we think about that?
Who's the smallest guy on the team? He's
Pereira.
more. Who?
Pereira.
Who?
Pereira.
Is he really the smallest, shortest guy on the team?
Yes, I think so.
Is he smaller than Dest? I don't know. Let's skip this one. I don't want to give.
It's not going to get much better. Moving to the next one. Oh nope, that's not it. It must be out of whack, or maybe you didn't do one for the largest.
I did do one for the largest member.
Maybe it's coming up later.
All right, coming up later. I don't know.
Hey.
But hey, hottest wag. This one's easy for me. Sergeant's wife.
Interesting. Yeah, no, she was definitely a looker. We looked at her. We checked her out. Yeah, that came off really weird and creepy.
We stalked her for a few weeks.
Snap. So Roldan's 5'8". I don't know where that falls in with everybody else. So, oh no, Freddie Adu. There you go.
Oh,
definitely
ouch.
Smallest.
Yeah. There is no risk of his dong being caught up in that vacuum cleaner because it's hanging down too low. I think he's fine.
So we got a Becky G. Just who I put.
Hottest wag. I think not really attracted to Becky G. I don't know. I'm going with Sergeant's
There's
wife.
a sergeant, and I think that we may have convinced some people last show.
Yeah. All right, Josh Sargent.
Becky G, Sergeant. Yeah, it's all Becky G's. Oh, so there's this one too. John goes, we did research.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, I'm fine. Yeah, Becky ain't a wag.
Aren't they married? Right?
I thought they were married.
Yeah, they're married.
Is it wag, wife, and girlfriends?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm sticking with Sergeant. Who you got?
I'm sticking with Becky.
All right. So, the crowd has it.
Chad has predominantly been Becky.
Okay. Becky it is then. Becky G. All right, next.
But, you know what? Again, you did convince a couple people last show because there were definitely some sergeants in there.
She's a cutie.
They just got engaged. I thought they got married, but they're engaged. So I guess I no longer. I guess fiance doesn't necessarily fall into wag territory, does it?
It should, because you're still a girlfriend.
That's true enough.
Yeah. All right. Next category.
Adam says, "What is a wag? Wag is wives and girlfriends."
Yeah.
Next one, huh?
Yeah. Liar of the year. This one's so easy.
Why didn't you even make a slide for this?
I know.
Hey, why don't you say, hey, Berhalter of the Berhalter, you know?
I should have just had Greg's picture behind this. It's like liar of the year is Greg. He lies.
Yeah, I mean.
He lied about Brooks. He lied about Gio. He's lied about all kinds of things, actually. This is nothing new. But anyhow. Liar of the year.
Nope, there was one. I was going to say there's not a lot of variation.
Yeah,
the turd. Well, the thing is, the turd doesn't necessarily lie.
He doesn't.
He just fluffs with some fluffy, fluff flags.
Yeah. He skews the perception by providing facts that don't provide a lot of context. They provide very beneficial specifics that make Greg's cock, which is usually limp, a little bit hard.
It's not an Eric Winalda fan.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't good, but I don't know how much he lied now, looking back on it.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Wasn't great.
I never told a lie.
Right.
It's true.
All right. That's Greg.
Are you bald? Greg says no. We'll lie about anything.
Next category is Game of the Year. Whoa. It'd be like we actually prepared for the show.
So this is a tough one.
Because I made these categories and I don't remember what I was thinking when I made them.
I mean, this is not a bad one. Throw in there. I guess ultimately you have to pick. I mean, I would pick Iran game because it was the game that led us into the group stage or the knockout stage. You could also throw in, I mean, the Panama game, because that was ultimately the one that
the tie with England was really well played
too.
Yeah.
Beating Panama 5-1. That's one I brought up too, because that ended up helping us on the final match against Costa Rica, where we had like a 7-goal differential buffer between third and fourth place.
Yeah, but we should be beating Panama and badly, honestly.
We should have beat Costa Rica.
I'm sticking with the England game.
I thought Iran.
That was good. That was good too.
Wait, El Salvador in the Mud Bowl.
Yeah, that was a mess.
We had an England game. There's another Mud Bowl.
Mud bath.
The comeback on Honduras. That was 2021.
Yeah, that was last year.
The Arctic Bowl match in Minnesota was this year.
What's that game of the year? That's what the most guys that
was a Costas game of the year.
Their testicles freeze off. I don't know if that could be the game of the year.
Mexico Gold Cup was last year.
Yeah, that's last year. All right, I'm going with England. You going with Iran?
The loss to Japan. It opened Greg's eyes. Maybe that wasn't actually a joke. The loss to Japan opened his eyes.
It did a little.
Yep. Take that. I'm sticking with Iran.
All right. So what do the folks have it? Iran or England? More Iran?
We got an Iran. We got another Iran.
Okay, you win.
I only saw like one or two Englands in there. There's two Englands. There's three Englands now. I know. One of those instances where we flip a coin.
You got a digital coin? Let's flip it.
All right, one second. Coin flip.
Versus England heads versus Iran tails.
Let's go tails. Yes.
All right, Iran wins.
I win.
U.S. versus Iran wins game of the year for the Turdies. All right. You know those people, they try to make the crowd sounds. They're like,
Gio was clearly an England fan. Fuck.
Hey, sometimes a flip of the coin is going to have to decide an award. All right, goal of the year. Wow. Did I come unprepared for this?
What?
Goal of the year by a U.S. player. Doesn't have to be in the World Cup. Can be club.
Again, the meaning behind the Pulisic's goal against Iran allowed us to get into the groups, the knockout stages again.
I guess which
was my argument. Was my argument for the game of the year. I think Adam's got it here. Hodges' goal.
That was quite ridiculous. Yes, that was a ridiculous goal. Still to this day, I'm not sure exactly how geometrically that works.
We got a couple of Pulisic versus Panama.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one too.
I mean, again, that allowed us to have that cushion going into the final match.
Yeah, but did we have just like an outright banger? You can remember, like, holy fuck.
Well, I will say under Berhalter, there aren't a lot of heavy goal-scoring games.
Because I can't remember when, like, I remember, like, Michael Bradley's blast against Mexico, from half field. I'm not thinking, or even Jermaine Jones' shot from outside of the box.
There's a bunch of people putting Des. Which Des goal?
Oh, that's a good one. Des, this is when he cuts in left and kicks it left-footed into the left corner. That was badass. I remember that one. That was a badass.
Most people are saying that's last year, though.
Was it? Yeah.
Versus Panama. No, that was against Costa Rica. The home match against Costa Rica was that game. I don't know when that was, but a bunch of people are saying that's last year.
Yeah, it is last year.
Yeah, that was against Costa Rica. That led the comeback because we were down 1-0, and then that is what led us to our comeback win.
So maybe it was Pulisic's nutsack goal.
His nut goal, yeah.
Because it was important, A, and B, he offered his pair to the gods, the soccer gods, and it worked out. So that's what I'm going to go with, because we don't have any guys blasting bangers from outside the box or kicking free kick from 25 yards out and looping it over the wall and hitting a fucking nail in the corner. We don't have any of those. We don't have any. So goal of the year has got to go to the nutsack goal.
Yeah.
All right.
The build up play. Well, the build up play for the nutsack goal is great too. I was going to say the build up play for Weah's goal was good, but the nutsack goal is still the build up was good too. So
yeah, everybody involved in the nutsack goal.
Yeah.
Very, very important. It was a great pass by McKenny to Weah. The Weah had the cross, I believe, and then Pulisic used his nutsack to score it. So Gio's goal was nice, but it was a friendly. Yeah, that's true. Yes, that was a fucking badass goal. That is true. That is very true. But it is in the second division of Italy. So even though it was sweet, and I do admit that, it's for Venezia.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Gary, Weah versus Wales. The whole build-up was great. So was the finish. I agree.
Oh, when was this goal? That was a nice play. Like Zimmerman's long 40-yard bomb up to Pulisic, he brought it down and scored. I forgot who that was even against.
I thought that was last year.
Could have been.
I remember that, but I thought it was last year. I might be losing perspective here, but I'm nutsack goal.
Yeah, Musa's goal for Valencia that was called back. That absolute rip.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't count. But all right, nutsack goal.
Everybody's saying it was against Morocco. Was it against Morocco? Really? The Zimmerman long ball. It
could have been. That was one of the friendlies that we won. I'm trying to remember. God. Anyhow, let's just go.
Everybody's saying Morocco there, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Iran goal.
Yeah, me too. Best fake name that Pete read live on his show.
I don't know if I've shared the.
Last year's winner would have been Ice Wallow Come, which he read live on air, which was a classic. But in this case, the winner is going to be the one he still couldn't get by, even after Filippo told him, don't read that again.
What are the nominations? Oh, no, he didn't have these, did he? Did you have Jack Meoffs? Lou Sassel?
Did he say Lou Sassel?
Is Mike Hunt?
I think
hopefully he didn't get Mike Hunt wrong.
I don't think so. Those are all on our show, but we say them without.
There were so many. The problem is that we didn't keep track of it.
Yeah, this is on Pete's show specifically. If he said Jack me off, I missed that one. Please send us the footage if you have it. We'll put together a whole collage of him reading those. But this is the one that I remember.
Derek, you're wearing the same outfit.
Always do, baby. Straight red card.
I got a different hat on though.
Link below.
Trying to do that form like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, here it was.
No, you didn't then. Okay,
no. Dixon Cider. Should we make this 3-back thing? They played their best in Morocco when playing that back three.
It gets better.
I would be fine with the back three if we had Dest and Jedi as wingbacks, right? And Pulisic as a second forward.
No,
so the problem is not so much is it a back three or a back two. You could still play with a back two, but you need competent center backs who can pass out of the back. And that's the other thing. When you have a center back who's good with their feet, what does John Brooks do? And he has the ball at his feet, let's say, and he wants to pass into midfield.
Thank goodness we're not getting copyright struck for this.
What do you do as a center back? What's the right option to tackle?
Here comes.
They got you there though with the name. I'm not going to read it, but they got you in the super chat with the name.
This one?
Yeah. Don't read it again. The name. The super chat is good. I'm just saying the name.
I still don't get it. So listen, John.
Oh no!
Oh my God, he still didn't get it.
Somebody added me on Twitter saying you need to check this show out at this moment. I watched. I'm like, it's coming up on our show. We're gonna post it.
That was a good one. If I missed Jack Me Off, please, if you have a clip of that, send it to us.
It said it was in the post Japan one. I thought that's where this came from.
Yeah, me too.
U.S. men's national team versus Japan. U.S. carved apart by Japan. Yeah, this is post Japan.
Yeah.
So maybe it came later. Maybe it's possible that it was another one.
It came later.
Hey-o.
Jack Me Off. All right.
There's a part later on, right? We cut it off early, but Pete's apparently stopped saying people's names.
Yeah, he needs to continue to say their names regardless. You know, we love it. Bring it on. You got fake names? Bring them here. We like them. All right. Next one. Next category.
Well, John says that I was wearing the same shirt. It's very possible. It was a post-soccer game, so I was probably wearing my jersey.
This is the only shirt I wear for the show for the most part. And as soon as the show's over, I take it off and put it on a chair behind me. And then I put it on when the show starts. Otherwise, I just walk around here naked with a hat on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. It's too cold for that. All right. What do we got? We should be near done.
Yep, we're down to our last 5.
Best non-TSRC pundit rant.
Oh, an actual rant?
It
had to be this year. Shit.
Davies had a bunch of rants. Charlie did. And I think we didn't agree with them all. But one of the rants was like how we had no 9.
No, the big rant that we talked about was Charlie talking about how his flip flop between PFOC. 1 week it was he's just not good with the ball at his feet. He's not a good 9. We don't need to include him. And the next week it's like, I can't believe we didn't include him. You know, it's like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like some of the best rants and
29. 29's not a bad one to bring up.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Herc called Greg a Muppet.
Oh, that wins it for me right now. That was a great rant. It was very brief, but it was damn good. Okay, I'm going with that one. Anybody got a better one?
I like the Herc Muppet one.
Yeah. Okay. Herc wins.
I'm just Burley about Reina and his attitude at the World Cup.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Burley is a nonstop rant, which is, you know, you got to give credit for that. But
all right, so we're going with Herc's Muppet.
Yep, let's do it.
Fair
Hercules Gomez, puppet, best U.S. player in MLS. We can zip through this. This is Brandon Vasquez. There's just Vasquez.
There you go. Well done, Derek.
Yeah, I got it right.
Right.
19 goals, 8 assists. Who did better? Who? Name them. No one. Okay. Easy. Done. Best U.S. player in MLS. Brandon Vasquez. Best.
So I thought about Mihailovic, but Mihailovic is no longer in MLS.
Nope.
But, I mean, that's splitting hairs because he literally just left. So you can make that argument.
Yeah, but he did not have the same kind of numbers that Brandon did.
Oh, there's a couple tokens.
Great player. We'll see where he goes from here. But
in fairness, we also have a couple Breck Shays.
As far as actual output, 19 goals and 8 assists. I don't see anyone near that. Anyone even close to it.
Ferreira was 1 goal behind.
Yeah, but what about assists?
I don't know. I didn't see this.
Vasquez had 8 assists in the season. I mean,
we had a couple of Zardises.
All right, let's move on. Brandon Vasquez.
Here's the couple tokens right here: Baggins and Frodo.
All right, we got a bunch of these categories to go, so you better speed it up. Best U.S. player in England, Germany, Italy, and Spain. Most of these are pretty easy, though.
Yeah.
Maybe not England, because I'm giving that to.
You can make the argument on a couple of players.
Yeah, I'm giving that to Tyler Adams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid argument to make.
Yeah, in Germany, I mean, Reyna.
Yeah, this is a tough one though because Reyna's
When
barely
healthy.
played. Yeah, when healthy, I'll say yes. But I mean, Scally's played for the last year straight.
Yeah, but Reyna's a superstar.
And Brooks played his the second half of last season.
In Portugal.
Really, no, second half of last season.
Mm.
Played there really well in
Mhm.
Germany. His second half, the first half of the season was forgettable. Second half was stellar, which made all of Berhalter's lies that much more apparent. So Reyna or Scally, I guess in that sense.
It's not even close for me. It's Reyna.
Reyna's the more talented player, 100%. I would just say if you have to look at it overall best player in that league, I guess if you're just basing it off of talent.
It's not just talent. I mean, since Reyna's been healthy, he's been playing a lot for Dortmund. So I'm still giving his overall impact for a way more better team, and the position he plays is much more influential for his team than Scally is for his. So for me, it's Reyna. No holds barred. No doubt. George Bello doesn't play in the Bundesliga. He plays in 2 Bundesliga. So, I mean, you could still count him.
So Matt has Pfok.
Pfok's a good pick because he started off so fucking hot, and then it went cold.
More Pfok. So Tom disagrees with you as far as Reyna over Scally.
How so?
For the same reasons I mentioned. Reyna's been injured, and Scally's boss for last year.
Boss is a little strong.
He's done well enough to make
he's had some pretty,
Bundesliga teams of the weeks a number of times.
He has, but he's had some poor games too.
Name a player that hasn't had a poor game.
I mean,
that type of an argument. Like, he's had some bad games. Well, everybody has bad games.
I know, but I don't know. All right, I mean, to me, Reyna is
the more influential and much more talented player. Hands down, 100% agree with you.
But the category is best U.S. player in.
So we're going to take into consideration that Reyna's played like 800 minutes in the last year.
He's still the best.
No, I don't disagree that he's a again, the more talented player. I don't know. I'm basing it more off of the consistency and number of minutes, I guess, in a sense.
All right, flip a coin.
I gotta pull that shit back up. You can't.
Reyna's heads. Scally tails.
Come on, tails.
Oh!
Yes! 2 in a row, Derek. You suck. I'm going to keep this up just in case.
Fuck. All right. Italy. That's so easy.
Busia. Oh, sorry.
No. We all know that's Wes.
It has to be. I mean, I know Des is there now and all, but he doesn't play as much. When Wes is healthy, man, he's a starter. I mean, he started today.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, we'll see if Des fights his way into that starting lineup on a regular basis. Spain, oh, that's another easy one. That's just Musa. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. So
we got Luca De La Torre in there, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're done with that one. That wasn't so painful.
Not at all.
Worst U.S. soccer take of the year. Worst U.S. soccer take of the year. I would again go with Michael Corsi with his take that even after Greg spilled the beans in front of 196 people, he still said, this is a prime example of why Greg should be kept for the next window because he keeps players in check in front of 196 other leaders of the world and then everybody else. So
Lawless went off on a bunch of people bagging on Ferreira, saying that Ferreira is going to score in this World Cup.
What a joke. That's a bad take. That's a really bad take.
Oops. Even if he started and played. Oops.
Yeah, that's a really bad take. Good call, Kevin. That is a bad take.
I forgot all about that, even though I saw that one earlier today.
Yeah.
There's the dominating Canada one. We lost the match, but we dominated the game.
That is a bad take.
That was a bad take.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I don't know. This one's difficult.
Berhalter about his system. My system.
The whole system itself was a bad take. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else populating here? Lawless saying Zimmerman could play in Liverpool on Sam's show. I don't know if that was this year, though. I think it would have had to have been, probably. I think
it was this year.
I think Sam had him on this year.
Yeah, it was this year. So that's a really bad take. Really bad. Really bad. Man, how about just Greg having Long on the team? Bad take. We should bench our starters against Mexico.
This was the Mexico away.
That's a bad take. I don't know. I don't know which one's the worst. I think DeCourcy for me still has it. That's a bad take.
That was a bad take. But then again, if you realize that he's a fluffer, then it's not a bad take. He's just doing his duties.
His due diligence.
He's servicing USSF and Greg Berhalter, especially, if you will.
Absolutely he is. So he's the only one tonight that's going to get 2 awards. Well done, Mike DeCourcy. Worst soccer take of the year. Greg should keep his job because what he said at the Moral Leadership Conference was a great example of leadership. Incorrect, sir. All right, next and probably the last, I think, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much long. I mean, I worked all week, so I'm tired as fuck. Best mainstream pundit of the year. Now that is Hercules Gomez. No doubt about it. Best mainstream pundit of the year is Hercules motherfucking Gomez. I don't know if that's his real middle name, but it works for me.
Yeah, it's hard to think of anybody another mainstream pundit that's better that did better than Herc, and I mean, you could throw Seb in there too. I guess in that sense because they're
you
they're
can throw Seb in there. I agree because Seb fucking crushed FIFA on the show, crushed Infantino. Said he was a greedy fucking whore, which is what he is. And thank you, Seb, for saying that and saying it on fucking ESPN.
Dude, Seb went on a lot of the ESPN shows, or was it even Fox shows? He even maybe brought in, but he was like on that solo screen by himself. Obviously, the pundits are all sitting there, and they're going over the game and everything like that. And Seb's like, first off, and he just basically said they were wrong on everything.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, finally. There's some massive disagreement between these people. They're not just all like, circle jerking it around saying, you're right.
What is the name of their show again?
Football Americas.
Maybe we just give it to Football Americas, Seb and Herc, for not lying, placating, cocksucking, ball fondling. None of it. They don't do any of that shit. No fluffing.
I know. Herc got a little bit of blowback from some people when he said that Acosta should start against Iran. I think it was.
That was a little weird. I did not expect that from Herc.
No.
But in general, their show as a mainstream show on ESPN, it's way better than ESPN FC's dudes as far as honesty. Although I'm not saying any of those guys aren't honest. I'm not saying Greg Burley is not honest. I'm not saying that any of the guys on that show aren't honest. But I don't think they're as in tune and have as much information, in-depth information about U.S. soccer and U.S. men's national team and Greg Berhalter like the Seb and Herc do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they get this award.
Antonio agrees with you about not liking the rest of the crew of ESPN FC.
They're not bad. Stevie's fine. They just don't know their shit. They really don't know their shit. They don't. They don't know it. They don't like U.S. soccer's not their focal point. That's not what they care about. So that's why you got Burley giving horrible opinions about, oh yeah, we should keep Greg. What Americans expect? Like, this is as good as they could do. Why should he get fired? Well, you're just wrong, Greg. At least Lawless is correct by saying there should only be one cycle of a manager. Unless
I got tight shirt in the club as well when it comes to that one cycle.
Unless that manager takes us to the final or a semifinal or really fucking lights it up, I see no reason. If a manager does exactly what he thought we were supposed to do and no better, that he should come back. And that's all Greg did. He did exactly what we expected, get out of the group. That's it. And then he lost in the first round of the knockout stage. That isn't enough to light, my balls on fire. I don't know about your balls, Brett, but mine were not lit on fire by any over accomplishments, except for the game against England was good. I think
first off, Kevin does say Herc also said Musa was a poor man's Darlington Nagy.
And Seb was so right calling him out and saying, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What? No, so yeah. What were we talking before I threw that in there?
Seb?
No, before I threw that last comment in there. You asked me a question.
Balls. I said, are your balls on fire?
Yes.
By the performance we put on it.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I was waiting for that. I have medication for that, Derek, and I told you not to mention it before on air. So
sorry.
No, one thing I thought was nice wasn't blown away by it, but at least towards the end there, Berhalter at least started changing things up on the fly and looking at a game by game instance. The way we approached Wales and Iran was different than how we approached England for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But it was nice for him to actually come into that with a different plan, even if it was a slight tweak,
Mm-hmm.
But it was enough. It was enough to see a difference. But that's nothing that would warrant me ever to re-signing him again.
No.
And yes, he accomplished some things. He had a decent win record against CONCACAF as a whole because that's all we played. He's won a couple trophies. Congrats. Other managers have done the exact same thing outside of winning Nations League because this is the first year for it. But I don't know. Third place in the Oct. Only CONCACAF team to really get out of the group stage. So yeah, some good things, some not so good things. But as a whole, the whole encompassing aspect of his tenure was based around not adjusting at all. Plan B, break in case of emergency, was to substitute like for likes and play the same system over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
So no, nothing blew me away.
So the award goes to Seb and Herc for their show, Football Americas, for mainstream show of the year or mainstream critic or whatever you want to call it. All right, so we are coming to an end here.
Yep.
Jose says, I'd like to nominate Fred Baker for Straight Red Card Fan of the Year. All right. Sharon Cox. Yeah. Says, I imagine the Turdy trophy is a golden statue of Michael Cameraman, and it is. And we will be mailing all of these trophies out soon. Do you think Greg comes back at this point? We've heard nothing about his status. Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the show. Go check it out.
Look, the new Elon Musk feature here, where you can actually view how many people have seen a post. It's interesting.
Oh, very cool. Is that it?
No, we're gonna do this quickly, Derek. You know the drill.
Is this going to be like the Tony Awards? Are you and Derek going to do a musical number?
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. All right. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Festivus, which is actually tomorrow. Happy New Year. Thank you guys for the great content in 2022. Your coverage has been great and hilarious all year. Thank you, Chris. You would be voted probably one of our favorite people if we had a vote on that, if we were giving an award on that, along with Berliner and so many people like Jose, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been fantastic, great comments. You've helped us along in 2022 and maintain what I think could have been a less than hard cock in coverage through most of this. But because of your great fondling, i.e. metaphorically, your posts and your ideas and your thoughts and your comments have really kept this show rock hard. And we appreciate that because that's important. Replying to the Straight Red Card at YouTube, I will add this one as well. Fox Soccer. It's really nice to see the people embracing our culture just as we are trying to embrace other people's cultures. Oh my God. This might have been the worst part of the whole World Cup. The worst. Embracing. They're not embracing shit. They didn't embrace jack shit. They told us they couldn't drink, that women couldn't rip their shirt. There was a woman arrested for ripping her shirt off after the World Cup was over. By the way, we'll see what happens to her. She's in jail. I don't know if she's out now or not, but yeah, her bare breasts, that got her arrested. Like, That's where we're at. Like, titties don't arouse you. They make you think that she should go to jail. I mean, I'd take arousal over, arresting. That seems like a bad thing. But anyhow, that's where we are. Chris Gary, $1.99. Thank you, sir. You're one of our favorites. I want a new manager for Christmas. You're not going to get one.
All I want.
You're not going to get one. I'm sorry, Chris. But I just think I need to break it to you, and you probably know it already anyhow. In your inner gut, that's not going to happen. But hey, we could get Andretti, the Andretti Autosport team. It could be announced for F1 before the new year. So there's that good news.
Well, Chris was sleeping during your sleeping during your F1 segment.
Come on, Chris. All right, Adam Wiggins says then putting the thing on Messi.
Them putting the thing on Messi was a close second.
He looked creeped out. Them putting the thing.
What was
the thing?
The whatever the black thing. What did they put it on at the end?
Strap on? What are you talking about here? I don't understand. What they put something on him and he was creeped out by it?
Did you not? It was like not a cloak by any means, but
the
robe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lord, I couldn't think of a word for the life of me.
I don't think he really wanted to wear that thing.
The invisibility cloak.
Yeah. All right. We're not. Everyone at US Soccer.
I'll tell you when we're done. We've got another 45 minutes of these. Stop it.
All right, everyone at US Soccer aspires to win a Turdy. They want to win the good ones, but not the bad ones. Shitcam Burhalter.
Yeah, we did that already.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, these are repeats.
We did that one already.
Yep.
Here you go. Shots fired. We did you already.
Yep.
And
we're done.
Woo. Oh.
I fucking love gerbils. Not in that kind of way. I think that's
every
a hamster.
time Wallace sees money.
That's a hamster, and that is.
And he's really getting up in there too, man. Look at that.
Jesus Christ! He's fucking deep in that shit. This is hamster porn.
All right, man.
All right, that's it. The show's over. This was the Turdies, the first annual Turdies. Thank you for showing up for this. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of like our year-end show, but guess what? We're going to be back Monday. What are we going to talk about on Monday? I have no fucking clue. Nor does Brett. I mean, we have some ideas, but we don't.
We're gonna shoot from the hip at this point, man. European soccer's back in full swing.
I know.
Rumors around MLS is gonna start taking off soon.
Exactly. So there's going to be things to talk about. So we're going to talk about them. I am going to open this little smoky and drink it as Brett talk about, what happened on the show and how big of idiots we were. But no, mostly me. I'm usually the one who's the idiot. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card. We love you. Have a happy holidays. If you're doing Christmas, that's great. Have a happy Christmas. Have a happy Hanukkah or Festivus or whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy yourselves and be yourselves. Till the next time on the Straight Red Card, good night.
She's a trap. She's an unsung novel. Turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without wine.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, Coach.